Okay, I truly think that I relate to this one. Why truly sociable people hate parties. Now, I feel that I'm like a introverted extrovert. I like to get out, but at the same time, my social meter expires very quickly. And I like to get out because I like to just see new things, network for my business. But at the same time, I'm not like just dying to get out to go party. But anyway, this video is by The School of Life. Check it out. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get to it.
The idea of being a sociable person is nowadays heavily associated with finding enjoyment in going to, and in all likelihood also in giving, parties.
Yeah.
To be sociable means welcoming the idea of being in a room replete with an above-average number of other guests, many of whom will be unknown, most of whom will be holding a glass of alcohol, bantering, with lights lower than they normally would be, and music somewhat higher than required in order faithfully to catch the details of another's voice. Parties have become synonymous with sociability because of certain underlying ideas about what true social connection might require and entail. We assume that sociability naturally springs up when lots of people are put together in a room, that it means speaking a lot, and notably cheerfully, about things that have been happening in our lives, that it depends on a jokey manner, and ideally on the possession of a few entertaining anecdotes.
You don't have to always go to like a party to be social. I mean, you can go to church, you can just meet up after school, go grab lunch. I don't know, but I feel like as we get older, especially like when you hit like over the age of like 21, everybody's idea of getting together is like going to a house party, like party. It's like, you know, I really don't see a lot of people really just getting together and going to like a restaurant. Just, you know, no alcohol, just go to a restaurant, hang out, do your thing. You know, it's always like, let's just go to a party. But
involving striking coincidences.
But I think that's cool because, you know, and you could kind of agree or disagree with it, because parties are like that kind of zone where you can kind of let loose and there's no like restrictions on anything. It's like, okay, that kind of explains the alcohol, that kind of explains the music. It's just like, take a load off, bro. Just like chill, relax, network and all that, you know. Maybe that's the reason why these parties always have music and alcohol. I don't know. But again, I've rarely been invited to a meetup by my friends where it wasn't like a party, you know?
Assumptions sidestep two sizable objections. Firstly, true sociability, that is, a real connection between two people,
are trippy,
is almost never built up via anything cheerful. It is the result of making ourselves vulnerable before another person by revealing some of what is broken, lost, confused, lonely, and in pain within us.
Interesting.
We build genuine connections when we dare to exchange thoughts that might leave us open to humiliation and judgment. We make real friends through sharing in an uncensored and frank way a little of the agony and confusion of being alive. Secondly, true sociability requires a context. We are generally under such pressure to appear normal, self-possessed and solid, we are understandably uninclined spontaneously to disclose our true selves. Our default mode is, without anything sinister being meant by this, to lie about who we are and what's really going on in our lives. This suggests that a genuinely social occasion might be rather different from what we typically envisage. We think of a good host as someone who makes sure there's enough wine and at a pinch ensures people know each other's names. But in the profound sense, a good host is someone who creates the conditions in which strangers can start to feel safe about being sad and desperate together. Unfortunately, the modern world seems particularly resistant to anything that seems artificial around parties, which threatens to evoke that most dreaded of all social genres, the corporate get-together. The thought is simply to
corporate parties, happy hours with your business, you know. You should go to those if you do work a corporate job. You should really go to those to network, but you don't have to drink alcohol. You can just get a soda, orange juice, or even a mocktail. You don't have to always drink alcohol or smoke cigars when you go to these corporate meetups.
And leave the rest to nature. But a commitment to deep sociability might lead us to recognize that we do depend on a little artful choreography to get us into the psychological zone in which connections can unfold. We might need encouragement and even a helpful lanyard to share a little of what is sad within us. We need help in networking, not in order to find new investment opportunities, but so as to identify shared
Look at the one with the little head. That's so cool.
Humiliations and feelings of despair. Parties, as they are currently structured, constitute a clever ruse by a sharp minority, perhaps only 10% of humanity, to persuade the rest of us that we have been provided with the social contact we crave. But in truth, it takes a sharply insular and misanthropic person to feel that what goes on in an average party really counts as anything like the requisite encounter with one's fellow human animal. If we have a lingering horror of parties, we should be generous towards our hunches. It doesn't mean that we don't like other people, rather that we have too ambitious a conception of social contact to put up with what is on offer at most parties.
Yeah.
The mark of a truly sociable person might, in many situations, simply be a strong desire to stay at home.
Yeah, and that's how I feel most of the time. But like you said earlier, like the parties is a way for you to get loose, for you to kind of understand people. They express their deepest feelings and stuff like that, even if they may be under the influence or not. And sociable people, I feel like a lot of sociable people are like the people that like to host the parties, but they like to just be behind the scenes as well. But I don't know. This was a pretty cool video. Very artsy video. I love the design on it. I was just kind of like, in it, man. This is so cool. I like this. So are we subscribed to this page? We are subscribed. But yeah, y'all go check it out, man. Sociable people hate parties. Very, very interesting.